Florida Today and FloridaToday.com are proud to present the following show.
Brevard Teachers of the Year.
Teaching is one of the most important jobs in Brevard County, and Gator Chrysler Suzuki is proud to lend a hand in recognizing our Teachers of the Year. Just as great teachers promote to their students, we try to work hard every day to satisfy our customers at Gator, and we do our homework as evidenced by our certified used car, truck, SUV, and van ads in Florida Today every day for our Melbourne and/or Palm Bay locations and at www.gatorchryslersuzuki.com. So the next time you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, consider Gator Chrysler Suzuki in Melbourne or our Gator Used Car Superstore in Palm Bay.
Florida Today's education team is going to introduce you to some of Brevard's finest teachers. I'm Megan Downs.
And I'm Michelle Spitzer. We're going to give you a first-hand look at the 8 finalists for Brevard Public Schools Teacher of the Year. More than 5,000 teachers work at the 85 public schools in Brevard County. They work in classrooms, monitor science labs, direct musical ensembles, and expose students to world cultures. At every school, a Teacher of the Year finalist is selected by their peers. From there, a committee narrows the field down to a final top 8. A 6-person committee spent 1 week visiting the classrooms of the 8 educators. They monitored the teacher in the classroom setting, interaction with peers, and their contribution to the school community.
Florida Today's education team mirrored the process. We visited each of the teachers to find out about what inspired them to enter the profession and to give Florida Today readers and WBCC viewers an inside look on the finalists. The finalists include 3 music teachers, 2 Spanish teachers, 1 kindergarten teacher, 1 4th grade teacher, and 1 science teacher. Let's take a look at our first nominee, who I visited in her Merritt Island music room. Christine Givens has taught music for 24 years at Mila Elementary. At the Merritt Island School, Mrs. Givens teaches students of all abilities using African costumes or exotic instruments to help them find the rhythm. She said she has a dream job, one that she can't believe she gets paid to do.
I get to make music all day. I get to make music with kids all day, and we're all having such a great time. I can't believe that I get paid for it sometimes. I just think, wow, it's the greatest thing that I could ever come and do. I would never think of doing anything else.
You follow me? Follow me, Brianna? Follow me?
Mila Elementary serves a special student population. Almost 60% of the students come from low-income families, and 30% of the students have physical and learning disabilities. But Mrs. Givens finds a way to reach them all.
You've got great teachers, and then you have truly exceptional teachers who were just born to teach, and that is Chris. In the 19 years of my being in this business, she is easily in the top 3 teachers I've had the honor of serving. She is exceptional. I could throw her in a field under a tree and give her 100 kids. They would all be on task, engaged, and loving learning music. That is just Chris Givens.
Mrs. Givens has been known to take her involvement to another level. Years ago, she had an aspiring violinist in her class. He came from a struggling family with many problems, but Mrs. Givens spent so much time nurturing his abilities that she ended up adopting him.
He reminded me so much of myself, and I wanted him to have that chance to be able to grow with his music and do something with it. And I never expected to keep him for very long, maybe just a few months, but as he stayed with us, he became part of our family, and you know, he was just a sibling to my other 3 children, and we couldn't live without him.
Some students Mrs. Givens takes home, and others want her to be part of their family.
She's very sweet, and I love her like a friend, and I just wish she could come home with me and spend the night.
Good morning. Please stand as we begin our worship this morning.
Her community involvement doesn't stop in Mila's classrooms. She's the musical director at her church, assists with the Brevard County Symphony Orchestra, and helps at Merritt Island High, where her twin 18-year-old daughters are members of the school's marching band. But in almost everything she does, she finds a way to combine her two loves, music and teaching.
I love to play music and I wanted to share it with everybody. I just wanted to play music with everyone and not everybody could do it. So I thought, well, I bet I could teach people how to do that. And so it graduated into the two things I love the most, teaching and music, and teaching children music. It doesn't get any better than that.
Now we're going to switch subjects and take a look at our only science teacher nominated this year.
Why do you think that's happening? Did you write your inferences?
Michelle Farrow is the science coordinator and K-4 science lab teacher at West Melbourne Elementary.
What do you think's happening?
She's only been there 3 years, but the Ohio native and Kent State grad already is making her mark.
My favorite thing about teaching is getting a chance to work with the students and to instill the passion for science, to grow up to hopefully want to become scientists.
When you would just take this out of here like this.
My teaching style is probably just like any other science teacher. We do lots of hands-on, make it fun, motivating, exciting, and try to instill the questioning for the students to try to figure things out. We like lighting things on fire, mixing chemicals together. So it's not very boring as a science teacher.
Her principal, Tom Westermeyer, says one of the reasons Mrs. Farrow is so great is because her teaching style extends beyond her own classroom.
She's worked on state committees, national committees as a resource to help facilitate great science instruction outside her classroom. She's a real model of the zest and enthusiasm you want for someone in science. The hands-on and lab activities she provides for kids are extraordinary. Her passion for excellence in teaching is obvious in everything she does. And I think that compounds with her great ability to model that enthusiasm for other teachers. And again, it goes beyond just our building. It's when she goes out and does training for the county at the district level, the people that she works with also see that enthusiasm and passion for excellence in education.
Besides her coworkers, Farrow also has the support of her students.
She's unique and she's not like other teachers. She's very fun and she does interesting projects with us and very interesting facts, and we learn a lot during science lab.
Farrow, who's been teaching a total of 11 years, says she's flattered to be honored for doing something she loves.
To be nominated as Teacher of the Year, I am very honored and excited. It's nice to be chosen by your peers to represent them. I hope my students remember to always question and ask why things are the way they are, to wonder, because that's what the world is around us. It's always science. Everything is science. Everything we do or hear is science.
Heather Kessel, the next finalist for Teacher of the Year, is a Spanish teacher at Clear Lake Middle School in Cocoa, but she's not a native Spanish speaker. She's fluent in the language because she says she isn't afraid to put herself in uncomfortable situations and look silly.
Yo trabajo en McDonald's. Bueno.
Loca, or crazy, is the Spanish adjective Mrs. Kessel's students use to describe her classes, in which Mrs. Kessel wears wigs, costumes, or dances to help her students understand the language. Sometimes, Mrs. Kessel said she thinks she's on stage instead of a classroom.
Hola, bienvenido a McDonald's. ¿A usted qué le gustaría comer?
Me gustaría un pollo.
Un pollo. ¿Con queso? Sí. Muy bien. ¿Con tomate? Sí. ¿Con mostaza? No. ¿Con cachú? Sí. Ok. Bueno. ¡Ach! Oh, oh. Lo siento, señor. Está bien. Está bien. Bueno. Somebody who is learning a world language, either they're bilingual, they're trilingual, they are so much better prepared in our world to, for employment, for travel, we need people in the United States to focus on world languages as something that is just, it's important. It's as important to me as math, as important as science. So you're giving your child not only a gift of a second language, but you're giving them a gift of a new way of thinking, and it really does spill into other areas.
When I first came here, I was like, wow, this teacher is crazy. She's loud and like stuff, but I kind of got really used to it, and I thought she was really cool. She likes to have fun with the kids while teaching them at the same time, so it's like really easy and fun to learn in her class.
In Spanish class, you have no idea. You have no idea what you're going to learn. In English, it's always, writing, reading, poems, all that stuff. And here, you come in here having no knowledge whatsoever, and then she just lays something on you that you've never heard before, and you're going, what?
Mrs. Kessel's influence on her students doesn't end in the classroom. She sponsors the school's Spanish club. Each year, they plan a quinceañera, or a birthday party for 15-year-old girls. Her fiesta is complete with traditional food, dresses, and dances. Mrs. Kessel also runs the school's Christ on Campus Club. She has only taught for 5 years, making her one of the newest candidates for Brevard's Teacher of the Year.
Well, I know that I still have so much to learn, and I'm in awe to even be in the ranks with teachers who I just find just dynamic, just incredible. I think about a quote from Mr. Rogers. I really like Mr. Rogers. And he said, what makes a good teacher? Somebody asked him, what makes a good teacher? And he said, well, I think what makes a good teacher is somebody who loves what they do, and they just happen to do it in front of a bunch of kids. I think that's what it is. I mean, just that I'm so excited to be here every day, that I get so much joy out of my job, that I laugh with them, and I tell them how, I do it. They come back from the weekend, and I'm like, guys, I missed you. And they're like, whatever, Miss Kessel. But I did, and I think that's infectious, and that I just put my all into each lesson.
Another interesting fact about Miss Kessel is that she was raised on the circus for 7 years.
Maybe that experience helps her teach middle school students. And now we'll go out to Titusville to take a look at another nominee, a 4th grade teacher who uses music to keep her students engaged.
Gabriel, read that one.
It is not every day.
Julie Cady is a 4th grade teacher at Apollo Elementary. The 48-year-old who grew up in a military family says she caught the teaching bug back when she was a teenager.
When I was 13 years old, my math instructor asked me to tutor another student, a fellow student, in the mornings before school started. So at my first session, I got to feel firsthand the joy that you feel when you help someone else learn. And so then I knew I was hooked. I knew I wanted to be a teacher at that time.
Some were sizzle because they're hot, hot, hot. Some were sizzle because they're not. Words should be inviting, super and exciting. When you treat the work, you make it plot.
I want my students to love to learn. I know that if they love to learn, then they'll have the same passion for learning that I have. And so when they leave my classroom, I know they'll continue to learn on their own.
You felt what? Terrible. An older sister's gonna clip her hair and she felt terrible. Oh my goodness.
She's passionate about what she does, and she brings a diverse background to teaching in a classroom. And you can see those things come out while she's teaching. And there has been numerous instances where children come back and tell Mrs. Cady that she has made a difference in the way that they learn.
Miss Cady considers herself a constant student. She's working toward a doctorate in educational leadership from UCF, and she already has 2 bachelor degrees and a master's. She takes time to mentor new teachers and opens her classroom so colleagues can observe the enjoyable learning experience.
She makes things fun and interesting, and every day she tells us we're the best. She's a fabulous teacher, and she always makes sure we understand the lesson.
Miss Cady has been at Apollo for 3 years, but she started with Brevard Public Schools at South Lake Elementary in Titusville.
I've known her for 11 years. I got to see her when she was a first-year teacher and up through now, and the transformation is just incredible. She has truly found her calling in life.
I get so excited when they get excited and they learn new things, and you can just see them light up. it just touches my heart. It just makes me know that I'm doing the right thing.
Of emotions, I stared, amazed at what was going on in my surroundings.
Very good, very nice.
Our next finalist is a music teacher at Central Middle School. Recently, Mrs. Renathan started a program where her advanced students mentor autistic students. The program helps children with autism focus on rhythm skills, and they've shown much progress. Here's a look at how Miss Renathan has made a difference at her school.
Central Middle School music teacher Renathan is the most experienced Teacher of the Year candidate with 33 years in Brevard Public Schools. Mrs. Nathan says it's her high energy and love of children that has kept her focused for decades. She also knows that music touches students in a way that math and English never could.
Music is really part of a good education. It contributes to students being well-rounded and having appreciation for the arts, and it stimulates those brain cells and gives them something really inside themselves that they can keep with them their whole lives.
It's the melody that I carry along all day. If I hear them singing in the morning, it's in my head all day. I'm humming all day. And it's just beautiful.
31 years of Mrs. Nathan's 33-year career have been spent at Central Middle School. She even moved with the school when it was relocated to West Melbourne in the mid-90s. With middle school students, Mrs. Nathan found harmony.
What I love about middle school, and I've never been lured away to high school, or even to another school, obviously, is that they are very talented and capable. They are fun. They don't have some of the grown-up issues that a lot of high school students do and some of the requirements of jobs, but they're just great, and they keep me going.
Nathan is passionate about her students. She just loves to teach. She loves to be up there. She loves to be goofy, and to help us out, she goes above and beyond.
Before I got into this class, I was kind of a shy singer. I'd sing in the shower, but now I sing in public. It makes me feel good because people are smiling and they're happy to hear me sing. Fare you well, my dear, I must be gone.
Mrs. Nathan now has taught children of former students. They come back to thank her often, she said, and those moments enrich her life.
She just represents what we all want to see in a teacher. Her focus is on the kids, what brings a kid to school and what keeps them in school, and also to get kids to be their best in everything, in all things. So I think she was chosen as one of the finalists because her persona represents excellence is the standard for all children, for all kids.
Next, we'll head to a Cocoa Beach classroom where our youngest nominee, Lucy Haddock, is teaching some of the county's youngest students.
Make a guess, Tyler, of how many steps you think it's going to take you to walk 100 centimeters.
At the age of 30, Lucy Haddock already has 8 years of teaching under her belt. The Orlando native has spent the past 4 years at Freedom 7 Elementary, where she teaches kindergarten.
I love being with children. I love to teach because it's something new every day. It's something new every year. And I think for selfish reasons, I love to learn. And so being able to teach, I get to learn every day.
We're going to go outside and you'll be able to spread out on the sidewalk.
Mrs. Haddock thinks it's never too early to start introducing students to real-life experiences. One of her favorite lessons is challenging students to go through the process of opening a restaurant.
So they go from start to finish, from research to the very end product where we actually put on a restaurant and invite the parents and have real food and have real jobs. And so it's just, that's probably one of my most favorite experiences when I get to stand back and just watch for that 5 minutes and see everybody taking ownership and just, they're so proud of everything that they've done.
Colleagues say Mrs. Haddock is the type of person who connects with everyone, students, parents, and fellow teachers.
I keep calling her in different descriptions a bridge person. You know, she's got bridges to all the different groups in a school community, and I really feel like that's a you know, an attribute that's commendable, because sometimes people can't connect even if they're professionals. They can't always connect with everybody. So she's very sensitive to the children's needs, she's a very caring person, and she's a leader.
In addition to her classroom duties, Mrs. Haddock also is the coach of the school's future problem solvers and chairperson for the school's advisory committee. No matter who her students are, Mrs. Haddock tries to engage them to ask why.
Through my teaching experiences, I've learned best through inquiry process and learning to ask questions and discover those answers for myself. And so I try to do that with my students each and every year, no matter how old or young they are.
When Mrs. Haddock isn't at school, she enjoys reading, a trait she hopes to pass along to her students.
That's what I think motivates me almost every day. When I have a parent come back and the child's in 4th grade or 3rd grade and my child loves to read and it's because of you, that's what I hope that they take away.
The next finalist, like Lucy Haddock, also teaches at one of the district's choice schools, West Shore Junior Senior High. Luis Martin teaches Spanish to students in 7th through 12th grades. Martin doesn't just teach Spanish grammar, but teaches lessons on world culture and compassion.
Es muy importante que Elena coma comida basura. No es importante.
Luis Martin, a Venezuelan, is the only Brevard Teacher of the Year finalist who was raised in another country. Mr. Martin is in his 7th year of teaching Spanish at West Shore Junior Senior High School. He said he uses his background to teach students about the similarities of people from all around the world.
Being able to promote not only our own culture but other cultures, and how much difference and how many similarities we have, which is the incredible part, and that's what awes the students a lot, to find out that through foods, dances, things, that they all realize that we're all humans in one point or another, and we all yearn for those normal things, to have a happy life, to be successful, to go to school, etc., etc.
Is that your answer?
Yeah. While Mr. Martin may be teaching a centuries-old language, he likes to use 21st century technology in his classroom. He experiments with gadgets and gizmos to appeal to his knowledge-hungry students.
And then you have question 2.
West Shore is a choice school where students must maintain academic excellence and teachers must find new ways to challenge them.
Today's students are almost a media, learner. They have to have all this interaction with technology. I mean, they go home and they play with their Wii's, their phones. So I think we need to bring back into the classroom to make them feel comfortable, to know, oh, yeah, I realize that I have a projector, I have a 70-inch screen, now I have a dog camera, so actually I don't have to be in the middle of the classroom just being a monotonous person. I can make it very interactive.
Well, he's just so technologically savvy. He grabs a hold of something that's a new initiative or a new piece of technology for teachers, and he not only wants to learn it himself so that he can master it for kids, but he's so excited about sharing it with colleagues. Kids nowadays need to be what I call edutained. They need to be entertained and educated at the same time, because we are certainly competing with Xboxes and the Madden 09.
There's no pencil and your hand doesn't get hurt. And there's no long answers either.
He has different methods of teaching. He's not like textbook. We get to do a ton of different things in his class. And it's a lot of fun. We actually have fun and we learn.
We challenge our kids, and in turn they challenge us. The parents, it's a great, because it keeps us on our toes. And, I think as teachers we should always be improving, challenging the kids, doing the best we can. We need to move to, the higher we can put the bar, the kids will go up to the bar, because I believe in them.
Finally, our last candidate is a music teacher who also uses his classroom time to teach students about real-life experiences. Jim Matthews' teaching career is older than his students. The band teacher is in his 24th year, all of which have been at Jackson Middle in Titusville.
Doesn't that sound better than just chopping it off and throwing our horn down our leg? Try it. Last 4 measures. Nice and pretty, everybody. And 1, and ready, and...
He's come a long way from a boy in Miami who never thought he'd attend college, much less become a teacher.
I had no intentions of going to college, but my mother worked at a community college, and so I was going to get free college. At the end of the second year, and I'd received awards and gotten great grades and everything, they said, "So what university are you going to?" And I said, "I'm not college material, I don't know, I'm not going to college." And they're like, "Oh, you have to. You don't know who's in there." And I said, "Okay." So I went up to FSU and I auditioned and they took me.
The father of two likes to incorporate his life experiences into his teaching. He says it helps relate to the students.
Especially shy people, just practice looking at people in the eye. It's hard to do. Watch this, ready? Can you do that? No. Yes, you can. You're looking at me right now. You can look the person in the eye and think of something else if you want to. I do share my weaknesses with them. They know, and it makes them feel more comfortable. You know, he's not that great either. I tell them, look, I didn't do well in school, but I'm determined. I had goals and I had visions. Go, try it. Beginning, everybody.
Colleagues have tried nominating Mr. Matthews for Teacher of the Year in the past, but he has always declined the honor.
Mr. Matthews is very humble, and every year that I've been a part of, setting up the selection for our own candidate for Teacher of the Year here at Jackson, Mr. Matthews has always been a nominee. And every year, Mr. Matthews will come to me in private and say, if I am nominated, will you please pull my name off the list? I just don't really, I feel like other people are more deserving than me. He truly has his heart in the right place, and that is, I do this for kids, and I enjoy what I'm doing, and it's not about the accolades.
Spare time, Mr. Matthews enjoys spending time with his family and going for rides on his motorcycle. But most of his time out of the classroom is devoted to improving music education. He has been a conductor for many all-county and summer band programs, has received awards from the Florida Bandmasters Association, and is a published author.
I love teaching. I'm a big advocate of teaching. I think it's great. I mean, how else could you get a more rewarding job? Giving back to the community, giving back to kids, even the kids here at Jackson. I don't come here for a paycheck. They all know that. I've said several times, if I won the lottery, I would probably be back.
On the last day of school every year, Mr. Matthews always offers to play at his students' weddings. Although some students laugh at that idea, about a half dozen of them have taken him up on the offer. As you can see, the judges have a tough task this year with a group of highly qualified educators.
Yep, I don't envy them. On March 4th, Brevard Public Schools will hold a special ceremony where they'll announce the 2009 Teacher of the Year. Each finalist will get $250 from the Brevard Schools Foundation. The winner will receive $500 from the foundation and the use of a car from Space Coast Honda for 1 year. They'll also get a laptop computer and a gold ring from Jostens.
Starting March 1st, you can view detailed bios, video clips, and a photo gallery of all the finalists at floridatoday.com. For up-to-the-minute education news, please log on to floridatoday.com/education. Thank you for watching, and good luck to all the finalists.
Teaching is one of the most important jobs in Brevard County, and Gator Chrysler Suzuki is proud to lend a hand in recognizing our Teachers of the Year. Just as great teachers promote to their students, we try to work hard every day to satisfy our customers at Gator, and we do our homework as evidenced by our certified used car, truck, SUV, and van ads in Florida Today every day for our Melbourne and/or Palm Bay locations and at www.gatorchryslersuzuki.com. So the next time you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, consider Gator Chrysler Suzuki in Melbourne or our Gator Used Car Superstore in Palm Bay. Florida Today and FloridaToday.com were proud to present this program. Visit floridatoday.com for a rebroadcast of this show and all news from Brevard County.